Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coach's Four Quarters radio show. And I'm your host, Coach Joesph Lee Jr. I want to welcome you to the show today. I have a star-studded show that's going to really make you enjoy it. And to start out, I have two young men on my show that I've been knowing for a while. And I met this young man and his dad down in Orlando, Florida at the Youth Pro Bowl. And I kind of cheated and wrote things in so I could get him on my team. I kind of stacked, but that's another thing for another day. Anyway, I want to welcome Mr. Printice Squire. That's right. I'm sorry, Printice Squire, and son Nemo Squire. Welcome to the show, young man.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's wonderful. I'm humble. I'm excited. I can't wait to talk to y'all. I've been waiting on this for a long time. And so let's start it out. I want to start it out with you, Mr. Printice. Okay. I want you to come in and tell let's tell the listeners and young people a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Printice Squire. I'm gonna give you a little of the personal side.
Right.
I'm an ordained minister. We love the Lord here in this house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's our foundation. Also, I'm assist with South Carolina AAU football on the board and as commissioner of South Carolina AAU football. And it's just a blessing to be able to impart and mentor young men and help with these different programs around South Carolina. It's just been a joy.
All right. And we also know in your past, because you're trying to get out of that one, but I'm going to slide you back in there. In your past, you have coached this game that we both love so much. So I know that you're doing the AAU, so let me ask you, you did some coaching too, talk about that.
Well, I've assisted coaching with AAU with the Low Country Warriors when we first came along back in about 5 years ago. It's been a joy, man, just to impart into young men lives and to see them develop. A lot of those young men are in high school right now. So, but I tell you, man, it's just a joy just to share and just to see somebody develop. When you take them on the field and you just impart into them on the field, and then the next thing you know, it's game time, and these young men are doing it on the field, and everything that you've shown them. It's just a joy just to see it, and the men to develop into great young men and athletes.
And it makes you feel good, don't it? When you teach them something, all of a sudden they do it.
Right.
The boys, no better feeling than that. And what positions did you coach, Printice, when you coached?
Well, I was just assisting with the offensive side of the ball, just assisting with that, because in high school I played running back myself. So I can always impart into young men.
You didn't tell me that one. You didn't tell me that one. You used to run the rock.
I did.
Yes, sir. Well, no wonder this young man. I'm excited about that one. Now, you didn't tell me you run the rock.
Yeah, and also, I was a track star in high school as well. So, man, I started varsity track in the 8th grade. So, and ran all the way through high school with that as well.
That's great. Then you're an athlete. So that's why Nemo comes right behind you with greatness. You understand what I'm saying? And now I want to bring on this young man right here.
Okay.
This is Nemo. And Nemo is the young man that runs the rock. This young man ran, for my listeners to know, he been running 500, 200, 300. He's running thousands of yards. Exactly. This young man's running thousands of yards. He made coaches prepare for him all day long. Coaches wake up in the night hollering because they know they can really play him the next day in the game, and they have not prepared for him, because one mistake and he gone. And I have seen him on film, young people. I have had to stand up myself because y'all know I'm a defensive man. So, I have to walk around and get it off my chest and everything. But anyway, welcome, Nemo, my buddy. Hi there, son.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I want you to tell my listeners a little about yourself, how you got to the point almost to where you are now, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, first off, man, just being raised into a foundation where, keeping God first and always staying in his face and staying on my knees and praying and just making sure that, that aspect of my life is always filled up, and just starting from youth, like kids now, man, just starting from the beginnings of rec and AAU ball. It was a blessing for all the coaches to impart in me, and I always took myself as being a student of the game, and always learning what all I can for my position, and being able to be in that arena of AAU football and getting that recognition and being able to get that development. It was good for me coming into my freshman year of high school. I was ready. I was prepared for anything, that the coaches was ready to put me in, and ready to put my team on my back. I was built for that because of the coaching that I got through AAU and through the leagues that I played and the big arenas that I played in as well.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Sir.
Sir.
It was a blessing to be able to go through that type of stuff at a young age.
We have enjoyed you because
yes.
I was gonna steal you and bring you back to California with me after you got through in the youth Pro Bowl, and they had to watch me close because I wanted to bring you home with me. I had enjoyed your play so much that 1 week that I was in Florida with you. Oh, I wanted to move down that way. So your dad would say so that I.
Oh yeah, yeah, you did.
Yes,
you did.
You are a pleasure. You are a pleasure too, and now I find out you are a pleasure on and off the field. Now, let me ask you some questions. Okay, now, we know that you're a running back. Is that the position that you prefer? Is that what you're going to go into college and eventually, now don't say this, eventually to the National Football League with?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's very much my plans. But, I can get it done on defense if you need me to, too, Coach.
You didn't tell me that one. You didn't tell me that one, son. So you kept that a secret when I was in Florida, huh?
No,
that's all right. Talk a little bit, because I see your accolades here, all the things that you've done. And as I told my producer earlier today, if I ask you questions on all the things that you've gotten awards for, we'd be here for 30 minutes. So,
yes.
That's right. So I'm going to ask you some things. So we know you prefer to play running back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and can you tell me some of the mountains that you wanted to strive over that you did? Some of your struggles that you came over the hump with.
Well, it's always a different level of ball when you're stepping into high school. I mean, and coming into a varsity play, from 8th grade. So, I had to just make sure my goals was to make sure that I was strong. I was strong mentally, physically, and ready to play on that type of ball and having the speed that I needed to sustain on the field. And, and running back is a contact position. You always getting hit by whoever on the defensive side. So, my body was ready for that, as well as having the speed to be able to run that rock on that level, because the game kind of changed. The speed of the game kind of changed. So I had to be ready for that.
All right. And, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But I want to ask you, how many Super Bowls have you won?
How many Super Bowls have I won? Oh, All-American games? Or
yes,
I've been to quite a few. Let me see.
You see how you got to look around in the sky. Let me see. Because you've been there a lot. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, son. Go ahead.
I got one Shrine Bowl ring from the Youth Shrine Bowl that I won here in South Carolina. I got Virginia Beach. I went to Virginia Beach and played in the Diamond All-American. I got a ring from there and an MVP trophy. I got an award for Pro Bowl down in Florida. I believe I got a defensive MVP there. Carolina Bowl here in South Carolina, I got defensive MVP, and that was my 8th grade year. I'm getting ready for high school, and I came in, playing into state championships. All my years of high school, playing on Dillon. I started in all of the state championships, all the last 2 state championships that we played in.
Wow! Just naming them off, ain't you? I love it. I love it, son.
Blessed to be in those positions, Coach.
Yes, sir. And you getting defensive MVP. You were just lucky I didn't know that when I was there. I would have had you, because I had you just doing the offense. I'd have had you on defense, offense, punt, refereeing. I had you in the whole thing. But I just want you to know that. Yes, sir. And I know you play for the love of the game. Now, I understand that you play for the love of the game, and I know that, like I said, I'm looking at some of the things here, and I see that you prepare very well. You got when you were running track, you run a great 40 time. What's your 40 time, son?
4.5.
4.5.
Yes,
and
sir.
Young man, what grade are you in right now?
I'm in the 10th grade right now.
You're in the 10th grade. Gentlemen, young people that's listening around and coaches, young coaches, before y'all be licking your lips. That's like a young truck running at you. You understand how much you weigh, son?
I weigh almost 200. I weighed in at like 197 today.
And he's still growing. You understand? And that's what I love this. I love talking to you about this. Now, what colleges have you have on your mind?
Wake Forest.
Okay.
We have Georgia State. I got an offer from Georgia State. Thank God. I have Alabama A&M. I got an offer from there. Great HBCU school down there in Alabama.
Okay.
Texas State, Clemson, Penn State, UNC Charlotte, Arkansas, Yale, USC, Nebraska.
Don't you come out here. Because I'll be right there. Right there every day. No, I'm just messing with you, son. I love you. Go ahead.
Tech, Colorado, New Coastal, East Carolina, Bowling Springs.
And all of those are showing them interest.
And all of them schools are showing me interest right now.
And Dad, you all just can't rest as soon as you all look up in the mail. There's something coming up. I know it's still early for you, Nemo.
Yes.
Because you're still trying to decide. You're still growing, baby boy. You're still a young man, and you have to decide where you want to go. You can't let anything push you into doing something that you're not ready for. And everybody that talks to you or comes near you, you get your dad or your mom. Your dad is your best friend.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
He is your best friend. And he is there. I always tell my players that, not an agent, not a coach, nobody but your dad. You have to be able to come in and sit down and talk to your dad about anything.
Right, yes, sir. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? About any subject, anything. And so, because we only have one father and mother, and when they're gone,
Right.
So anyway, let's go from there. So these coaches have been contacting you
yes,
about
sir.
Defense or offense?
Offense.
You're running that route.
Yes, sir.
And so, are you looking into more playing in with black college, or are you looking more to go play away from home, or
Hey, well, I'm always down to be able to play at a HBCU, but I'll be ready when them opportunities come. I'll be ready to make those decisions and see how it goes and see what type of decisions I'm ready to make.
Because you can play anywhere. Young man, you can play in a phone booth and they're going to come and find you. And that's the talent. Oh, yes, that's the truth. And that is the talent, that you have with you. Plus, you carry the Lord with you. And he's always going to put that glow over you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Protect you and wherever you decide to do. Now, we know that you're looking at all these great colleges. So that must mean you got great, what I see is, and you're going to tell my listeners, you got great grades too. Talk about the grades.
Yes, sir. I stand on the, I'm actually in the National Honor Society. I have a 3.9 GPA right now. So, those are always
honor roll.
Always on the honor roll. So, you know,
how many times you been on the honor roll, son?
Since I was, I can't even tell you when I wasn't. All the way through elementary, I can't really tell you when I wasn't.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. Now, that's what I like. Now
all the things come great. Yes,
because that shows me that you're also not an athlete. And we're going to talk about this brutal on the field, but you can also think. You made me raise my voice, then you can also think. So when they come to you with the sophisticated things and write-ups and X's and O's,
right?
You know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Because you can read.
Yes,
and I like that. I like that. We're not talking to a young man that's just football. We know that you're a leader of men.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And that's what I like, and that's the way your parents have brought you up. That's what I love about your father and your mother. See?
Yes, sir.
I knew that when I first met him. You understand what I'm saying? And we sat there and we talked, and we became fast friends. And
we did.
Got on my team. He had to watch it. I can slip you back to Southern California with me. Now, have you ever did kickoff return and things like that?
Yes, sir. I'm on kickoff return every time they put the field. Every time they time to kick that ball off, I'm out there.
Wow. How many times have you ran one back?
They don't kick to me, coach.
They don't kick to you.
I
fire all my coaches if they kick to you.
Yeah.
First thing I tell them, y'all are fired. So they don't kick to you because you must have done some things with that ball when they did kick it to you, didn't you?
Yes, sir. If it wasn't to the house, it was. I was getting pretty good yards when I got it. I make nervous when I get it. So hey.
Yes, sir. So whatever you do, don't kick it back there to him.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Buddy, I'm telling you. So tell me about your season last year.
I rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. I had 16 touchdowns. And all-purpose. I had 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, all-purpose yards.
And all-purpose yards, I had over 1,000. Yeah. And I had some
about the yards after catch.
Receptions.
That's right.
Yeah, I think
that's what I meant to say.
I had a little bit over 100. 100.
Right. So you got hands then. That's what you tell me. I don't have to go in the closet and find no hands for you. You got hands.
No, you kissed the ball.
You can spare me out wide if you want to, coach.
Yes.
You can. I like that. Do you see my teeth? You don't see nothing but teeth in the window. I like that. So, yes, sir. I'm excited. So love you. So in other words, if I send you out in the flat, I can send you deep if you catch. You know,
right. Yes.
I like that. So that just makes you a triple threat. We know you can catch, you can run, and you ain't said you can block. Now, you know I was running and everything, but what can you do on the blocking side? If I need you to
that's the first thing they taught me to do when I came in. But I've been knew how to do that since I was in the AAU ball. They taught me that from the first jump. You got to be able to put your hands in them pads and get down dirty. That quarterback, check that back side of that quarterback. So hey, I don't mind blocking now. That's one thing that I don't mind. I'm an unselfish player, so I'm
I like that. So you it looks like to me you enjoy blocking then.
Yes, sir.
Running the football. Now, when you're in the playbook, do you understand the things that you're asked to do? In other words, do you come out of the playbook or do you stay in the playbook when the assignment comes? Because, you have to, I tell NFL players all the time when I'm in camp, when they're trying to get over that, when your dad know about this, when you're trying to not be on the bubble. And meaning being on the bubble means getting ready to get sent home. So you have to honor the offense or the defensive playbook. When you're playing, do you honor the playbook? Are you close to it with your assignments and your techniques?
Yes, sir. Very, very, very close to it. I know what's going on. I know what's going on when what's my job every single time I go out there. And if I'm running a route out in the flat, and I know the reason why I got to get out there, and I know that if me run out in the flat or open up that slant up, you know, then I got to make sure I'm doing my job always. So, you know, that's one of the things that I do. I study the playbook and make sure that I know what I'm doing. And
on the field at all times.
Exactly.
Well. You know,
I like that. I like that.
I always know where the first down marker is.
I always know where that at.
I always know where that at, you know, because this game is a game of first downs, you know. So if I'm getting 10 yards, I'm getting you 10 yards more.
Yeah.
You know. So
I like that. I can sit up all night and talk to you about football. Just sit right in there. Your dad had to come. All right, time for y'all to go to bed now. I can sit up all night long. Because do you hear what he said to my listeners? He said, I know why I'm running in the flat. I know why. And this is the thing that I tell my players. You have to get into the playbook and honor the playbook.
Right. Yes.
The defensive coach or the offensive coach writes it up because you have to know that it relates to something else. Son, that's major. I just can't begin to tell you how happy I am to hear you say that. You know. How happy I am. Now, let me ask you this here. Do you mentor young men?
Outside of just Nemo being Nemo, kids reach out to me. You know, I don't mind spending time and pouring into them what I have already learned. And one of the things, you know, that I would teach kids now is building up a skill set. That's one of the first things is building up their skill set.
There you go.
Because being that they're young, they're going to grow. They're going to get faster. But one of the things that always going to stick with them is them ladder drills, them footwork drills, them cone drills, where to cut, how to cut. You know, like I said, building up the skill set, man, ladder drills is the best thing, and making your feet quicker in space and in small areas, getting them feet faster. And the drills that you can do on the ladder, it's a lot of drills that you can do on the ladder and utilizing the ladder. So that's why I said ladder drills, because I grew up, you know, figuring out different drills on the ladder and getting quicker feet.
Right.
And it helped me on the field, you know, when I'm in the hole and I'm going between tackles and I got to make a move quick on these linebackers and things like that. I got fast feet to the point where, you know, I can make that move fast and react like I want to, you know. And those are not the only, yes, sir. So those are not the only things, you know. You can use cones as well, you know, and learning how to break down in your cuts, things like that.
Oh, okay. So now I like what you're saying. You're telling me the things I need, fast feet, and I need to be able to move left to right, things like that. And that's great in my cut. But now, Coach Nemo, I don't know what a linebacker is. I don't know what a tackle is. I don't know about getting into the hole. Break it down for me now. Break it down for me. Let me know what is who. I know that you spot the linebacker when you get in, because we know as older people, you read the top of the linebacker's helmet. That's how you know where he at. I know about all that. But I'm 6 years old. I don't know nothing. You need to tell me. Break it down for my listeners that want to be like you. There's going to be a lot of them today that want to be like you.
Gotcha.
Right,
so a linebacker is the second line. I call it the second line of defense. You know, you have your linemen, the big boys down there in the middle, but you also have your second line of defense, which is the linebackers who play 5 yards off the ball. You know, who cover the holes that the linemen can't. And, you know, and try to stop the running backs mostly from getting yardage pretty much. And as well as they can also spread out into that zone and cover wide receivers if they need to, that's coming across the middle or coming into their zone. And, you know, and we go a little deeper. You know, you got your third line of defense, you got your safeties and your cornerbacks, you know, the guys who cover the wide receivers, slot wide receivers, the tight ends, you know, the safeties sometimes have the tight end, you know, the linebackers sometimes have the tight end as well. So, you got to be able to have that third line of defense, you know, and that secondary, you know, to be able to hold it down back there, but as well, you know, can play the under routes as well.
I love it. I love it.
Play those as well.
Yes, sir. And so you've taught me a little something right now about the linebackers, and my first line of defense is my linemen. Because, see, that's what I see. Because you have to remember, you didn't do it because you've always been a cut above. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But there's young kids that when I tell coaches, when the ball is snapped, they see nothing but chaos.
Right.
They see nothing but chaos. They don't see colors. They don't see nothing. They just see everything jumping around. And what you just explained to me is going to separate and slow time down on the football field for these young men. You understand what I'm saying? And so what I want you to do, you said to me right then, something that I sparked up in my chest. I want you to tell me about the third line of defense, the secondary. So now Nemo's running a route. How do you control that safety? How do you control that corner or that linebacker that's trying to cover the flat with you, son?
Yes, sir. So basically, if you put me out in the flat, my body posture and my eyes gonna be inside before I cut outside because I know where I'm going already. You know, and that's all on how his body posture is as well. Is if he leaning too far outside where I need to be, or is he inside and all I got to do is make one move and get on outside, you know, or break on outside. So, you know, it's all about his body posture as well. And I'm you know, make it seem like I'm running the in route, you know, something that's inside, you know, and nail it on his inside shoulder and give him a little move on his inside shoulder and maybe even turn my eyes into the inside, but I know where I'm going. So I'm coming back to the outside.
I like that. See, now that's the things that we want the young people to hear because, you know, we know that, you know, young role models like yourself, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
To become a teacher, you know, we just don't want you to, you know, it's not that we say something, but to just be with that, because there's some players that don't want to tell a young man anything.
Yes, sir. There you go.
But by you teaching, we know that you have the confidence not to say, when you teach, you're not worried about, or he's gonna take my job because you already know you better.
Yes, sir.
But you come in and you're teaching. So now, when you come out of the huddle,
yes, sir,
in the backfield, what's the first thing you're looking for, and what's the first thing you see? Do you make sure where the linebackers are? Do you know if I get in this hole, I got to deal with this backer, or deal? You know, what are you looking at?
Well, that comes in preparation of that week. Because see, if I know what type of linebackers I'm playing against already, and I know what type of play I'm about to run, you know, and you kind of know how that linebacker likes to play, you know, you can kind of fiend for like where he might go, but you really can't tell until the play starts. So you really don't know. But at the same time, I know if the defense is in a 3-4 or a stack or a 3-3 stack or something like that, you know, I know, you know, that and I'm running a zone, then I'm gonna read the backside linebacker, you know, to make sure that if I got a cutback, you know, I'm gonna be able to make that cutback, you know, and things like that. So I do pay attention to how they're lined up and if they're sending a safety where I'm running, so that time I get the ball, I know I'm gonna have to make a move or even run the other way, you know, or prepare to do something like that. So I do pay attention and pre-read things when I come out of the huddle.
I like that. So, and I want my young listeners to hear what he said. He said he studies the linebackers. I know what kind of linebacker I'm playing.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I want y'all to understand. That's just what he said. And that shows me that you, like I said, are a student of the game, not only playing the game, but a student of the game. And that comes from upbringing. Don't think Dad gonna sit back there and, hi, Dad, I know you ain't gonna sit back there and just smile. You did a wonderful job. A wonderful job, I'm telling you. And I am so excited and proud of you and Nemo. Now, you was explaining earlier today about our Gridiron Share and Compare, you know, our program that we have. Can you tell me, do you think that's going to help young people and young players that are looking and are coming up and want to make sure of this stats, you know, other things like that?
Yes, with the I was listening to him, and the thing about that program, what can help young men, we're living in a time now that exposure is key. So with South Carolina AAU football, if the kid can get more exposure at an early age and at a younger age, by the time he get to high school, his name is already known. So
that's right.
So with that program that you're talking about with the AYS, I mean, it's just a powerful tool that's going to be used. And I truly believe South Carolina AAU football can utilize that. We have a host of programs that we have for this season. We got 14 programs in this season, and a couple more that still is coming in. And at the end, I would like to, just say the name of those programs, if you would allow me to.
Say it. Go on, say it.
Is it a good time now? You want me
yes,
to?
Sir. Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead. Okay. The programs that we have this year in South Carolina AAU football, I'm going to start out with the PD region. The PD region, we have the Dillon Predators and the Myrtle Beach Seahawks and the Florence Seminole Six and the Lee County off-season. And yes, that they call it the off-season. And in the lower state, we have the Low Country Warriors. We have the Moncks Corner Seahawks. And we have the from Somerville, we got the Green Wave and the Berkeley Wildcats and also the Johns Island Junior Islanders down from Island, in the Charleston area. I know you know about Charleston, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
And, we have
I'm from Portland. So I mean New York, by the way of Portland. So
right.
I'm up in all of them down there. And I was stationed in Fort Jackson. So.
Right. And also we have in the Low Country, we have Palmetto Stampede as well. Now the Midlands, we have the Midlands. The Midlands is stacked a little more than all the other conferences. We have the Border City Bengals in the Midlands, and we have West Columbia Tigers, Rock Hill Wildcats, and the Greenville, out of Greenville, South Carolina, we got the Carolina Rhinos. And we have the Swansea Country Boys. Okay. And also out of the Charlotte area, we got the Junior Hawks. So for this year, that's the different regions that we have, and those are the teams that we have. A few more that's talking about coming in also mid-season. So we got a good group of
so really stacked up, and these are lots of young men. I mean, we're talking
exactly, Coach. That's what I'm talking about, Coach. And these young men, you know something about it, though, Coach. We have to make sure that we're mentoring these young men.
Yes, sir. That's first and number one.
First and number one. The wins and the losses. Yeah, we celebrate the wins, but when you lose, we got to learn how to build them up. Right.
And I love you all. You are my babies, as I always say. And I thank you for coming on my show.
Yes, appreciate you too, Coach.
All right, young man.
Take care,
guys. Stay safe.
Right, thank you, man. All right.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.